much do you and your manager agree? A lot? Not much? Disagreement nearly always leads to poor motivation and even worse results, whereas a mutual respect and understanding can foster new ways of working and highlight what is and isn't doing well in the sales process. We sat down with an SDR and their manager to get their perspective on some commonly divisive sales topics. And this is what they said.
Round 1, fight!
I'll be honest, I didn't believe in video. I was like, these cybersecurity people, they're not gonna open up a video. I'm like, I don't wanna get ready and look good and get my eyebrows done, which I do, just to make a video. And then Kayla joins and she's like, no, I've booked this many meetings with it. We've had success with it. Let me try it. And I was like, let me make one video, right? And let me show it to Kayla so Kayla knows I'm making videos. And that's what I do, right? And I made the video and Kayla was like, great, love the personality, love the way you're speaking, the tonality. And I was like, all right, cool. I don't have to make videos again. And then I sent the video out and the guy booked off the first video. And I was like, I hate it. I don't want to admit I'm wrong, right? Because I came in with this feeling that it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then it worked off the first try. And so I was like, guess I have to continue making more.
Sachin, personality-wise, comes across in video. So if we're getting super honest, I saw that video and I was like, it's you. You're there. You're being authentic. And I think that's something also where both of us have seen success in video is the authenticity of, hey, it's us, right? We're not putting on a front, we're pitching you, but we're doing it in a way where you're not getting good video or authentic video from many other people. So yes, it was as good as Sachin said.
The way I think you should prioritize accounts, because we are shifting to more, hey, tier 1s, tier 2s, make sure you know who you're going after. Something I used to use when I interned in finance, but a lot of people in sales I think use it too. It's like the Japanese Venn diagram. I think it's pronounced an ikigai. And basically what it is, it's a series of Venn diagrams that intersect. And if there's 2 Venn diagrams that intersect, that's a good account. And if they all intersect, that's like your diamond account. That's what you need to be going after. And the whole idea of that is, I think the best way to go about it is if you come into a company, especially if the company has a decent customer base, a few hundred, few thousand companies, I say you look at the 5 to 8 things that are the most aligned between all your customers, right? That could be funding size, that could be territory, what state they're coming from. I think you need to list those out, and then when you're outbounding and you're finding these new accounts, put those as your filter.
I think a piece of it is just finding your niche and not just spray and pray and saying, hey, everyone could benefit. Yes, everyone could benefit and someone could come in inbound, but let's focus on kind of what Sachin talked about, like that Venn diagram, right? A lot of times in the enterprise, we're seeing that most everyone actually has a need because a lot of the governance, risk, and compliance in that space, it's kind of antiquated. So it's a little bit different depending on what segment you're targeting. But overall, it's really important to find who is our core audience, who is our core ICP, and double down on that main ICP. So I used to make sequences way too long. I'm just going to be honest. Probably sequences should be 4 touches, and then you figure out what to do, because if you're just continuing to send someone emails, you're not actually figuring out what is happening with this account. So what I've heard is about 4 on email. I think that LinkedIn sequences can be longer, making sure that you're not giving up on it. Call sequences can be longer, but if you're just ending up in spam, it doesn't matter. And that can hurt your open rates if you just keep sending same emails and it's not getting open. If this person isn't engaging, let me actually pivot and figure out finding someone else at this account, or is there some other way that I can get in rather than just continuing to run them on sequences?
I mean, I've been in the spam folder for a long time, but I'll be honest, coming into the job, I didn't think there was ever enough. We were maxing out the amount of emails that Google would allow us to send in a day, and we'd be going to Google jail. I remember the first time it happened. It was my first month on the job, right before our offsite. I'm on the airport, I'm working, and I go to log in, and I'm it says account's been deactivated. And my instant reaction is, I'm like, did I get fired? I'm like, did I get laid off? And then I quickly realized it was just Google saying, hey, stop sending so many emails. I think if you're confident in what you're selling and the sequence you've written speaks to a large problem, again, don't blast people with an email every single day, right? But if you're using a largely email sequence, if it's working, it's working, right? You can't hate on a man that's doing well with it.
Quality conversations. That's what's going to get you to book meetings, which is going to then get to qualified meetings, which is then going to get you to pipeline. It's hard to measure that, right? It's hard to say, oh, great, you had some great conversations, but you didn't book it. But long term, that will lead to pipeline. I think the thing we don't want to do, and something we refer to at Drata as commission breath.
Hi there. How you doing?
where it's you're so attached to booking the meeting or you need to book it that you forget your human skills. And the prospect knows that you're kind of like breathing down their throat about booking the meeting, and it gives them like this icky feeling and they don't want to book it, so they back out. But I think quality conversations is the most important thing, but that can be hard to measure in like a tool.
In terms of metrics to attract, man, like I'll be honest, it's something I'm working on. If I was a manager, the metric I would look after is how much are you either talking to people or how much time you're spending on calling. And what I mean by that is when you're talking on the phone, are you having quick like, hey, I just pitched and conversation done, he said not interested, or you again just talking to the guy even when you know the meeting's not there, like just learning about his industry, his territory, right? Had a conversation the other day with an Australian prospect who told me what's going on with compliance in Australia, right? Would have not known that otherwise. Again, the next time I called Australia, talked to another guy led with that, and he was like, dude, you're not Australian, how do you know this? And I'm like, oh, keep up with the Aussies. The motto always is like, hey, everyone's like, oh, work smarter, not harder, right? I'm always the type of guy like, oh, you should work smarter, not harder. Here's the thing though, until you work hard, I don't think you can work smart. And I think you need to learn to the point where if you get on a call and they hit you with a crazy objection, you're working an enterprise account, a commercial account, you could say, I don't need this script. I don't need the, hey, Drata saves you time on SOC 2. Let's dive into the deep technicalities of what problem you're facing, and I got you, right?